This podcast is brought to you by the Orlando Economic Partnership. Welcome to the City Playbook, a new podcast that's going to take you behind the ideas, the innovation, and the initiatives shaping the future of Orlando. I'm Tim Giuliani, President and CEO of the Orlando Economic Partnership. If you've ever wondered what it takes to make a city a place people want to live, play, build, belong, develop, then this is the show for you. This is for policymakers, business leaders, students, residents, anyone that's paying attention to how the future of Orlando is taking shape. We're going to have conversations that typically happen behind closed doors, give you access to the decision makers and the difference makers that are shaping the future of Central Florida. So if you're curious about what's next for Orlando, and join us as we build the city together. Welcome. I'm excited about today's episode. Today we have Rob Starkman. Rob's the founder and CEO of Rock'em Socks. So if you've seen cool socks like the MCO carpet socks, the stuffed socks at Magic Games, Mandalorian, Star Wars, Disney socks, Rob's company is making those socks here in Orlando. So please, before we do, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get started. All right, why don't you introduce yourself?
How you doing? I'm Rob Starkman. I'm the founder of Rock'em Socks. We are a create-on-demand sock, underwear, brand manufacturer. That's a word that I invented, but it's between a brand and a manufacturer. So we design, we produce, we market, we create, and we ship everything from our own facility here in Orlando.
Okay. So you do it from Orlando.
Yep.
So tell us, the interesting thing I think from anybody that's founded a company, like what's your founding story? How'd you get started?
Yeah, I was a student manager for University of Central Florida basketball team.
Okay.
And I was there around the years that Michael Jordan's kids were there. And so that was a huge debacle.
Good network to have.
Great network to have. Shook the GOAT's hand. Unbelievable. And when they were there, they wouldn't wear Adidas. So we were in Adidas school.
Right.
And so we had to switch to Nike basically overnight.
Okay.
And, companies like that work on 12 to 18 month turnaround times. They had to do it in a week. So they gave us all this blank black and white gear. I had to go to a chicken coop in Oviedo and get it all embroidered and have names silk screened on the back. And one of the things that they gave us was black and white socks. And so just as a fan of UCF, obviously also working there, but my mom's very crafty. So I took those socks home and I was like, I want to color these. And so we put a dip dye bath inside of our kitchen sink at my childhood home, turned them from black and white to black and gold. And
so you made somebody nervous there.
Oh, immediately.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take these home and fix them up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And so, I'm taking them and I'm customizing someone else's product.
Right.
But it immediately caught on campus.
Yeah.
So all the guys on the team wanted to know where I got them. Everybody in class wanted to know where I got them. And I was like, oh, I made them. And I was like, oh, maybe I should make more of them.
So then how'd you get your next order?
Yeah, I started on eBay. It was building it out of literally my dorm room and just customizing socks, putting them on eBay. And I'm not even joking, within the first 15 minutes of the very first one I put up, it sold to a guy in Australia too, which was crazy to me.
That's interesting.
So after that, it just started steamrolling. And these socks were very hard to get in the world anyway. And I had access to them through, local outlets, but also just other connections. Okay. And so I had a leg up against everybody, no pun intended, a leg up. And it just started steamrolling. And I'm in class, getting 100 orders a day. And I'm working 18 hours a day over my sink. And I still have to go to class and go to basketball games. So it was a wild time.
So at what point do you make a decision that says, you know what, I'm just going to ride this wave and I'm going to see where this takes me?
Oh, yeah. It was the very first Christmas. So I started in February-ish of 2011. Okay. And that very first Christmas, I was still going to school, still working for the team, traveling with them and everything. Right. And it was Black Friday, and we got 1,000 orders. I'm like, maybe we got something here. And so that winter, much to my mom's dismay, I had told her I was dropping out of school. And after that, I just never went back to class, flunked out my last semester, but then stopped going.
So that was a fun conversation.
So. Yeah. Technically, I'm not even an alumni, so UCF gave me Alumni of the Year award, but I don't know how that works.
Well, take it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's
all right, so at what point do you decide, I can't do this at the kitchen sink anymore?
Yeah, it was probably when the first cease and desist I got from my apartment complex because I blew up a stove. After the second one, they kicked me out, so I had to go get a house. And after the house, the HOA kicked me out because I was running a business out of my garage. We rented a facility not too far from here, And after that, we've had like 7 or 8 different facilities that we've grown into, and we're at a good one right now, which is honestly, it's a block away from our very first commercial facility.
Oh, really?
So it's really cool to drive by like
that's funny.
the very first one that we have going to our really big one now, which is amazing.
So now you're operating out of Orlando, selling all over the world, especially if your first sale was Australia.
Yep. Instantly global.
Instantly global.
Yeah.
So it was a global company from the beginning.
Yep.
All right. So talk to us about going global from Orlando. Like what's it been like to grow and scale a business here?
There's not that many clothing brands here. So to build one here, there was never another choice to me. I always wanted to build it here and grow it here. I could have went down to South Florida. I could have moved it somewhere more centralized in America.
Right.
We've had offers to bring us around the country, but to me, like, Orlando was such a great place. There was such a unique opportunity here with the amount of skills, the people, and just the great business climate here that growing it has always been something I wanted to stay here. Because I felt like there's a need for, hey, you know, Oregon has Nike, Maryland has Under Armour. What can Orlando have? So I've always aspired to be that kind of brand for Orlando, and you know, hopefully we're getting to that place.
We'll talk a little bit about everyone knows us because of tourism and hospitality. Everyone's come here and had a great experience, great vacation. They brought their family here. You know, whatever their story is, we hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But talk about how that same industry, that same connectivity that, you know, has positioned Orlando to grow as fast as it has. How has that benefited your business?
Well, we've been able to make some incredible connections, partnerships. You know, we've been licensed and partners with Disney and Universal, and we do all the socks for the parks and Legoland. So not only being a fan of those things just as a personal, but being able to work with them, go to the parks, see our product in there has been unbelievable. But that's opened up so many other opportunities for us. So whether it's, you know, collaborating with a local coffee shop or, you know, like a local barbecue joint, but also doing the socks for the MCO airport, we've been able to.
Oh, you do the MCO socks?
Yeah, the carpet socks. We do that. So that's one
those
of,
might
like,
be
our
the
most
most famous socks in Orlando that you make then.
I can't go on a flight leaving MCO. I always wear my socks there, free marketing, and without someone saying something to me. Somebody came up to me while I was sitting in my seat and they were boarding, and they're like, "Are those the MCO socks? Are those Rock'em?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm the owner." And like, the guy's like, "I love them. I wear them all the time." And then other people are like, "You make the sock," like on my plane. So I can't escape that one, which is really cool. So,
yeah, those are legendary in Orlando.
Yeah,
for sure. So let's transition a little bit. You know, you talked about your business, talked about Orlando. You know, the aspiration is Orlando becoming a global creative capital. So let's throw a magic wand in your hand. You're mayor for a day. You know, what do you do to help advance Orlando's mission to become this global creative capital?
Well, first, if I'm mayor of the day, I'm automatically going to record the automatic, the APM.
Oh, of course.
At the airport.
Right.
So I'm doing that. I'm probably mentioning the socks too in that. But I think that what we're doing so far as a city and attracting great talent, but also retaining great talent, I would just continue with that. Just make it a great climate for businesses to start, a very friendly climate for businesses to run. Also a great network of people that are running great businesses in Orlando. Yeah. If it's only one day, I would probably have like a round table with all the business owners in Orlando to hear from them, see what they would like. But I think that it's already just doing a fantastic job, speaking as an Orlando business owner, just the support that we've gotten from not only the city, but the constituency here has been incredible.
Okay. So talk a little bit about the network. So I'm really curious. We know some of the same people. When you think of your network and who's helped you grow your company here, name names. Give us one or two people that really helped you out along the way.
Of course. Well, I wouldn't be where I'm at in this seat without one of my mentors, Coach Donnie Jones, who was over at UCF. He's now at Stetson, so a little bit outside of Orlando, but he's just been fantastic in the sports community, introducing me to incredible people, which has led to just amazing opportunities, be it with the Orlando Magic, UCF Knights, Orlando City Soccer. So that's just put me in a great position in the sports world. Outside of that, just the business world, which, maybe bigger names we haven't really gotten to, but, everybody at Disney Consumer Products, which is right down the block from us, they're extremely helpful, extremely friendly, and they've been able to put us on a map on a global level with their partnerships. So there's people like that.
I'm curious. So you mentioned in there your experience with Disney and consumer products. You mentioned that you're in the parks, you're in Universal as well. But talk to us about that global brand that's here in Orlando and how that has helped propel your business
Oh,
forward.
yeah. I mean, I think Mickey Mouse might be the number one most recognized thing in the world, maybe outside of like Michael Jordan or a can of Coke.
I always
But
heard no more. I've heard more popular than the Beatles.
right,
I
Mickey
mean,
Mouse.
oh yeah,
So to have that partnership and to unlock those kind of products and stories that we're able to tell, that really gets us exposure to this market that truly is global. Now we focus mostly on the United States, but when I'm going overseas and we go to theme parks and we see people, we just went to Japan and there's people wearing our socks, our Star Wars, our Disney socks at the parks, or we're able to do partnerships and events with Disney in Japan or anywhere else in the world like that. It's always a pinch me moment because when you start out in a dorm room and you only think outside of the size of maybe your room, and then you think outside of the size of your city, and then these kind of opportunities continue to break down the walls of your brand, your business, but also your partnerships. It's just incredible to be able to work with companies like Disney that can really open you up across the globe.
Yeah, it certainly seems, so many of the founder stories that we hear in Orlando, it's people that have learned how to take advantage of their position here. Not only, you mentioned MCO because of the carpet socks, but to have that many direct flights all around the world is so important. It just continues to open up the world for Orlando. I mean, people come here for leisure, but to really get the flights, you also need to fill up the front of the plane. And so that air service development is super important. And it's interesting to see it transpiring to an entrepreneur like you that needs that access.
Of course.
Because if not, it'd be way easier to do this in Atlanta, way easier to do this in Dallas, right?
Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles, those have always been like the big cities that have drawn brands like us. But, wherever I go in the world, people ask me where I'm from and I go Orlando, and they know that. They might not have heard of Atlanta in Shanghai, China, or, Jiaxing, China, but they know of Orlando. So it's really cool to be able to have those kind of conversation starters, but also that connection, whether it's personal or business.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see how you've leveraged that brand to help your company. But I'm curious. So you go to Japan, right? You're walking down the street and you see somebody with your socks. Like what happens? Do you instantly say, hey, my company made those socks, or are you getting used to that?
I'll never get used to it. I have crazy stories of where we've seen our products around the world, but usually I just like the idea of walking by them and going, hey, nice socks. And they go, oh, thank you. And little do they know that I had a hand in making
Yeah, maybe
those.
They wonder why did that guy just comment on my socks?
I know. So I like keeping that mystery, even though they probably don't think about that at all. But yeah, I'll just usually go nice socks. But if the conversation develops, I'll let them know,
Yeah.
Hey, I actually make those, I actually saw a guy come out of a bathroom a few weeks ago in Colorado, and he was wearing one of two socks, was one of our socks. And I was like, why are you wearing only one? Come on, man, I make those. You got to wear the other one. So that was pretty funny.
Did he have a good answer or no?
No, I think he was just throwing on an outfit in the dark,
maybe?
Probably. Oh, yeah, very extreme.
Very unfashionable.
Yeah, the other sock was atrocious.
Did you say it was in Colorado?
It was in Colorado, yeah.
I just flew through the Denver airport. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Most people don't wear the same two socks.
Fashion is not their number one export.
No, thankfully.
Yeah, probably.
Although I realize my son looks like he probably could be from Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of goes with the vibe.
We got to get him some new socks then.
He probably.
Okay.
Probably. Socks in my house, it's kind of a free for all. I got two boys now that essentially wear the same size that I do. So I can't keep socks, but if I have a custom pair of socks or a unique pair of socks, that's a different story.
They can't touch
the white
those
ones. They disappear.
Yeah. But it's got your name on it.
My magic socks, my Disney socks with my name on it.
Yeah.
Those don't go anywhere.
There you go. That could be an ad we run, protect your pair.
It would work in my house. I would be buying, because I can't find any socks. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. I asked you about being mayor for a day. We talked about bringing business leaders together. But I'm curious, what do you feel as a responsibility to the community, to sort of something bigger than just your company? How do you think about the community, if you will, as it comes to growing your business?
I think that I personally take a long-term view with this city. I think that there is an economic hub, not only in the Southeast, not only in the East, but the entire country that can happen here in Orlando. So what is our position? As the leader of a company here, I want to recruit talent that's not only from here, but maybe attract them here, which we've been able to do. And I want to retain that talent, and I want to grow Orlando as a base that has great brands, great businesses. So I think that's from a microcosm, is attracting talent, building the actual team, the people here that are either from Orlando or outside of Orlando, that they make this their home.
Yeah.
Because I think that 30 years from now, this could be a massive hub for not only business, but culture, technology, all those kind of things. So, outside of just Rockham, not only Rockham, but myself have aspirations for other businesses that I think can really affect the community. Amongst the other things that we do in the community, I believe that, we do have a responsibility to spur economic inspiration, development, collaboration across the board. So there's a lot of things that we try and do from a community perspective. We have this list in our room of companies that we'd love to work with. And so our first thing is we always try and get in touch with their team, bring them over to our facility. We try and build a facility that's great, that people want to come to, people want to be at. So there is a community that we're being built here, across our athletic field. But having those business leaders come here and just sharing ideas and growing that, I think that grows the entire the glue of Orlando through the businesses. And
I haven't been to your facility. I've seen pictures, I've seen video. So what's the latest? Where are you at in the development of your company's home?
Oh, wow. We're at a facility that's about 30,000 square feet right now. And every time I say that, I always put it in, it's 700 dorm rooms that I started my business in. 700 of those could fit in this building today, which is crazy. But we have all of our manufacturing facility well built out, so extremely streamlined and constantly getting better at streamlining that. We have an indoor facility area that has our creative team, our marketing teams. And so for that's the kickoff of our tour. So we have a little bit of history everywhere in our lunchroom, in our boardroom, in our creative room that we take guests through, and then we make it part of the experience. And part of that we're layering on is a build your own product experience. So while you're learning about the different parts of the business, you can put together your own product and then eventually get it. And then another piece of our facility that we've recently added, as I mentioned, I was the UCF manager for the basketball team, and we bought their basketball court a few years ago. So we put that up recently, and we have that in the back of our office that you can't even see it. It's behind a black wall. And then when we take people there, we open the door and they're stunned. And we got weightlifting, we got our own basketball court. We have all the machines.
So do you ever leave?
Oh, I would not. I'm going to build an apartment on the, in the rafters somewhere. But no, today I'm rallying some of our guys up. 5 o'clock, we got to work out, So from 9 to 5, I'm your leader. I'm your manager here. But from 5 o'clock onwards, I'm your workout buddy. Let's lift the weight. Come on. So now we have classes there, and we're building a really cool community of people here that is just exciting. So every time I walk through our facility, I'm just I can't believe we do this. Can't believe it.
So what's next? What do you do? What's your next act?
Well, we're definitely excited to launch a bunch of new products that we've been working on for a few years. And with that, our facility will develop. But I think that this thing with the athletic performance center that we built really has legs outside of our walls. So I imagine, this incredible amount of scale that we can have with an athletic performance part of our business. So, similar, we're very inspired by the Nikes of the world, and as much as they have a training center all around the world, I think we can do something like that as well. We've been able to really get in with a lot of great athletes, a lot of great people, a lot of great business leaders, and they're very interested, excited in that. So I think we can, do something fun with that.
And there's all sorts of stylish socks out there, but it seems like you've kept true to your roots you started kind of from an athletic perspective with the basketball team, and to this day you're still kind of pulling that same string. Do I have that right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we do so much, especially with UCF. That's one of our closest partners that we develop so many great products with them that are athletically tailored. Then we're also, we work with over 250 NCAA schools. We work with the NFL, the NBA,
I didn't know there were that many.
Oh, there's 700 plus just in Division I alone. But yeah, we do NHL, NBA, NFL. So we work with the leagues.
Okay.
We work with the fans. So we're doing a lot of development with the athletes. So we have performance socks, we have performance products that we're working on that, we can service this entire ecosystem that we've really built 2 pillars of. Yeah. Let's, bring it home with that third one.
Yeah, I've seen Travis Hunter with his socks on, right?
That's an unbelievable story. I mean, that man, in an iconic moment when he hit the Heisman pose, he's wearing our socks.
That's crazy.
When he's at the Heisman Trophy Award, like, we're there. And, he's working hand in hand with us. Very excitable guy, like, great personality, came to our facility, loved our facility. He's playing video games with us. Like, yeah, it was really, what a time.
That's awesome. And so I think one of the socks I saw had to do with EA Sports and maybe the release of college football.
Yep.
Maybe 2024, 2025.
It was 2024. I think that was last year, yeah. And so Travis Hunter, partner, he was on the cover wearing Rock'em, which is amazing.
That's what I saw. Okay.
Unbelievable. But then we've been doing, EA Sports, another local company here. We've got some friends that work over there that we've been able to work with on some co-marketing, some internal product stuff. So hopefully we can take that, continue to roll with that. But we've been able to make some really cool headways in that, not only the digital space, but also, again, for the fans.
Okay. I mean, it certainly seems like you've leveraged Orlando. I mean, Orlando's been good to you from your UCF days to your start to scaling your company to big customers to parlaying that into new partnerships. I mean, it's really cool to hear someone that's really had a lot of success, just taking advantage of everything that's at your fingertips here.
Yeah, I've been very, very fortunate to build a network here, build a home base here. I'm not from Orlando. I'm from Fort Lauderdale. So moving up here, next year will be half of my life that I've lived here. So I consider myself an Orlando native at that point. But just like being around the people and around the growth of this city, I've been very fortunate to experience it, but hopefully play, our little part in that. So I'm very excited to continue to build our base here. We have no plans on doing anything but growing here in this city.
Well, that's awesome, but I'm curious on a personal level. So I'm looking for a book recommendation. I'm looking for a video recommendation, one or both. What is in your head?
There's the book that changed my life is Ego is the Enemy from Ryan Holiday. It's just stories of, people who have allowed ego to either make their life better, and then a lot of people that have made it worse. So that made me take a step back a few years ago as a leader. It's a very helpful book for leaders. It makes you take a step back and say, okay, how do I make my team, my company, my community better before I even think about myself? So that was something that is extremely helpful to me.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's that stoicism, one that I found interesting, related, maybe not that book, but brought by the same guy, was about the obstacle is the way.
Yeah, it's another great one.
And sometimes when you're stuck or when a challenge just seems like, how are we going to get over this? You just think, well, let's just tackle that obstacle. Let's just go right at it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing how sometimes I can just unlock the answer and the growth.
Yeah, that entire ecosystem and the entire brand that Ryan Holiday has built, especially with his books, has been extremely helpful in growth as a personal development as well as leadership.
Great. We all need something to read next. So
That's right.
Thanks for the recommendation. Appreciate being, and if anything we could do to help grow your company in Orlando.
Absolutely. Maybe I'll be mayor one day. That's and right. I'll get all the business people together after I record my APM.
All right. So before we finish off, I'm curious, how do people get in contact with you, learn more about you, learn about your company? Where do we go?
Everything is usually on our website or on our social media. It's at Rock'em, ROCKEM, or Rock'em.com, ROCKEM. And usually, if they want to reach out to me directly, I try and stay off social media. So they can just reach out through the website and someone will redirect it over to me. Or they can just come knock on our door. That happens a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Please don't, actually.
I really hope you enjoy the show. What a blast talking to Rob, seeing how he started in a dorm room. Now he's in a 30,000 square foot facility here in Orlando. He's partnered with the NBA, the NFL, Disney, Universal, Star Wars. What an amazing story. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.